Today, our topic is the art of accepting death, Stoic wisdom. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, joys and sorrows, beginnings and ending. One of the most profound truths we must face is the inevitability of death. For many, the thought of death brings fear, anxiety, and sadness. But the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a different perspective. Stoicism teaches us that accepting death is not only necessary, but also liberating. It allows us to live fully, with purpose and gratitude, knowing that our time is limited. Let us explore this wisdom and see how it can transform our lives. Stoicism is a philosophy that began in ancient Greece and was later developed in Rome. Its most famous teachers include Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These thinkers believed that life's challenges, including death, are not to be feared but understood. They taught that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This is the core idea of Stoicism. Focus on what is within your power and let go of what is not. Death, they argued, is one of those things we cannot control. It is a natural part of life, and resisting it only causes suffering. Imagine a leaf on a tree. The leaf grows, changes color, and eventually falls to the ground. This is the natural cycle of life. The leaf does not fear falling, it simply exists in the moment. In the same way, Stoics believe that we should accept our fate without fear. Death is not an enemy, but a part of the natural order. By accepting this, we can free ourselves from the anxiety that often comes with thinking about the end of life. This does not mean we should not care about life. On the contrary, accepting death helps us appreciate life more deeply. When we know our time is limited, we are more likely to live with intention and purpose. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote extensively about death. He said that life is like a play, and death is simply the final act. Just as a play must come to an end, so too must our lives. The quality of the play is not measured by its length, but by its content. A short play can be powerful and meaningful, while a long play can be dull and empty. In the same way, the value of our lives is not determined by how long we live, but by how we live. Seneca encouraged people to focus on living well rather than living long. He believed that a life filled with virtue, kindness, and purpose is a life well lived, regardless of its length. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, taught that we should not fear death because it is beyond our control. He compared life to a banquet. At a banquet, food is served, and guests may take what they like. If the host offers you a dish, you can choose to accept it or decline it. But if the host takes the dish away, you should not feel upset. In the same way, life offers us many experiences, but it is not ours to keep forever. When the time comes for us to leave, we should do so with grace and gratitude. Epictetus believed that fearing death is like fearing something that has not yet happened. It is a waste of energy and distracts us from living well in the present. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, also reflected on death in his writings. He reminded himself daily that life is short and that death could come at any moment. This practice, known as Memento Mori, remember that you must die, was not meant to depress him, but to inspire him. By remembering his mortality, Marcus Aurelius was able to prioritize what truly mattered. He focused on being a good person, helping others, and living in harmony with nature. He understood that death is not something to be feared, but something that gives life its meaning. Without death, life would lose its urgency and beauty. So, how can we apply this Stoic wisdom to our own lives? First, we must shift our perspective on death. Instead of seeing it as a terrible end, we can see it as a natural part of life. This change in thinking can help us let go of fear and live more fully. Second, we can practice gratitude. When we remember that our time is limited, we are more likely to appreciate the people and experiences we have. Gratitude helps us focus on what we have, rather than what we lack. Third, we can focus on what is within our control. We cannot control when or how we will die, but we can control how we live. By living virtuously and with purpose, we can create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Stoicism also teaches us to prepare for death, not in a morbid way, but in a practical and philosophical way. One way to do this is by reflecting on our mortality regularly. This does not mean dwelling on death or becoming obsessed with it. Instead, it means reminding ourselves that life is precious and fleeting. This reminder can motivate us to make the most of our time. Another way to prepare is by living in alignment with our values. When we live according to what we believe is right, we can face death with peace and dignity. We know that we have done our best and lived with integrity. Finally, Stoicism encourages us to embrace the present moment. Death reminds us that the future is uncertain and the past is gone. The only moment we truly have is now. By focusing on the present, we can fully engage with life and find joy in the simple things. This does not mean we should ignore the future or forget the past. It means we should not let them control us. The present moment is where life happens, and it is where we can make a difference. In conclusion, the art of accepting death is not about giving up or becoming indifferent. It is about embracing life with courage, gratitude, and purpose. Stoicism teaches us that death is not something to be feared, but something to be understood. By accepting our mortality, we can live more fully and authentically. We can focus on what truly matters and let go of what does not. This wisdom is not always easy to practice, but it is deeply rewarding. It allows us to face life's challenges with strength and grace, knowing that we are part of something greater than ourselves. As Seneca once said, life is long if you know how to use it. Let us use our time wisely, with love, kindness, and purpose, and let us face death not with fear, but with peace.